With each new set in the Pokemon trading card game, fans are treated to a fresh crop of high-quality art, game-changing mechanics, and powerful new attacks. While many of these cards display images and attack names that inspire or intimidate, others seem downright silly. In this series, I'll be breaking down one set of Pokemon cards through a unifying theme, be it the card art, attack names and abilities, or some other means. These opinion-based videos will display what the Pokemon Company did correctly and where they still need some improvement. Welcome to PokeDos and Don'ts. Today I'll be looking at one of the most recent sets in the English TCG, Fates Collide. Released on May 2nd of this year, Fates Collide introduced powerhouse cards such as Regirock EX and Zygarde EX, while bringing back some old favorites like N and Ultra Ball. One underappreciated aspect of the Pokemon TCG is the names of attacks and abilities these Pokemon have. Sure, we have to say them when we want to use them in a match, but what we normally care about is the damage they do or the effect they provoke. While there are some crafty and awe-inspiring names out there, others just make you sound downright foolish. Let's begin with some of the highlights of Fates Collide's attack and ability names. Delphox Break is a prime example of how to both fully encompass a Pokemon's essence and throw in a cheeky pun. Its ability is called Flare Witch, and allows you to search your deck for a fire energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. The name not only matches perfectly with its fire and psychic typing in the video game, but also references the 1999 cult classic film, The Blair Witch Project. The fiery name also aligns nicely with the effect of the ability, making Flare Witch a name you won't easily forget. There are actually two Larvitar in this set, but I'll be focusing on the one with two attacks, as each one complements the other. The first attack is Mountain Munch, and allows you to discard the top card of your opponent's deck for 1 energy. If you asked yourself how eating a mountain does Larvitar any good, or even makes sense, look no further than its many Pokedex entries. The vast majority of them describe how Larvitar's diet consists of soil, and can't evolve until it has eaten enough dirt to create an entire mountain. Its second attack, Corkscrew Punch, hits the defending Pokemon for 20 damage for 2 energy. The name is both more descriptive than simply saying punch or using a cliche, and also rhymes with Mountain Munch. Larvitar gets points solely for the fun factor of saying Mountain Munch, Corkscrew Punch. Regirock is one of my favorite legendaries, and I was so excited when it got an EX card. Both its ability and attack not only make sense for it as a powerful rock type, but also draw parallels to some of my favorite childhood cartoons. Regipower makes each of your fighting type Pokemon do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, which in itself is cool. But I can't look at this ability name without thinking of Scrappy Doo shouting da 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 puppy power. Plus, you're literally calling on the power of the Regis. Simple as that. Bedrock Press allows Regirock to do 100 damage for 3 fighting energy, and take 20 less damage during your opponent's next turn. At a whopping 507 pounds, Regirock certainly seems strong enough to shake Bedrock, but if you didn't think of the Flintstones when you read this attack's name, there's a chance we're from a different generation. Zygarde EX is a perfect example of how to reference a Pokemon's biology, display an appropriate power distance between its attacks, and use an attack that actually exists in the Pokemon video games all in one card. Land's Pulse hits for 20 damage for 1 energy, with an additional 20 damage if a stadium is in play. Pulse isn't a very menacing word, but is appropriate for an attack dealing relatively little damage. It also makes sense that a patch of land with more development or people would be hit harder by a natural occurrence. Cellstorm does 60 damage for 2 energy, and allows Zygarde EX to heal 30 damage from itself. Zygarde are made up of 2 types of matter, cores and cells. While cores act as a brain, cells carry out the actions of the cores that control them. Since the Zygarde depicted on the card art is the complete form, it contains multiple cores and an untold number of cells, making it very possible for Zygarde to call down a veritable storm of cells on its opponent. Land's Wrath is the last attack present on Zygarde EX, dealing 100 damage for 3 total energy. Since Zygarde is the only Pokemon in the video games currently able to use the attack Land's Wrath, it only makes sense to give the cardboard version of Zygarde the same attack. The word Wrath also sounds much more intimidating than Pulse or even Storm, making each attack name seem plausible for the damage it does. These and other attack and ability names would have me grinning with delight as I cast them on my opponent's Pokemon, but there are plenty of names in Fates Collide I just can't abide by. Let's take a look at some of the don'ts of this set. We'll start off with a Pokemon I really enjoy, Rotom. Listed as a rare in Fates Collide, Rotom has an attack called Energy Extract that does exactly what you'd expect it to do. extract energy, specifically from your deck. Fine, no problem there. Where we do hit a snag is with its second attack, Plasmagic. Not only does this name give the user no indication of what it actually does, but it's no more than a cheap combination of Plasma, since Rotom is the Plasma Pokemon, and Magic. It's as though the Pokemon Company threw magic in there simply because it happened to fit perfectly at the end of the word Plasma. All I can think of when I hear this attack name is the band Pilot's 1974 hit, Magic. Oh ho ho, Plasmagic, you know. I actually wouldn't mind the name that much if the song didn't get stuck in my head every time I saw it. Next up, we have an evolution line where both Pokemon's attacks are riddled with problems. Koffing's only attack is called Division, and allows the player to search their deck for up to 2 Koffing and put them onto their bench. The mere definition of division implies that something or someone would be split up or separated, not brought together. This attack is actually doing the opposite of what it says it will by bringing individual Koffing and putting them together on your side of the field, making this Koffing a totally confusing card. The problems extend further when we look at Koffing's evolved form, Wheezing. In Fates Collide, the first attack of Wheezing is Balloon Bomb, wherein the user flips 2 coins and gets to discard 2 cards from the top of their opponent's deck for each heads. I don't know about you, but I can't consider balloons and bombs to be anything but opposites. Balloons are colorful spheres handed out at parties or social gatherings, while bombs are usually dull and meant for destruction. This is another case where the attack name gives no indication of what the attack does. I can see how bombs could imply the destruction of your opponent's deck, but I fail to see where balloons come into the equation. As for its second attack, I'll leave it out of the discussion entirely. Vullaby and Mandibuzz aren't just paired together through the bonds of evolution. In Fates Collide, they also share an attack name that's sure to awaken the immature side of your humor. On Vullaby, Cutting Wind is an attack that does 40 damage for 3 energy with no side effect. Anyone familiar with the colloquial term Cutting Wind has probably realized that Vullaby's second attack is literally farting on the opposing Pokemon. Considering that Mandibuzz has the same attack and energy cost but double the power, you might realize that the gaseous emissions of a Mandibuzz are twice as potent as that of its pre-evolution. As the Pokemon Company failed to use any existing flying type moves present in the video game, such as Air Cutter or Gust, I can't show them any mercy here. This name stinks. Finally, we can't go through a list of don'ts without including at least one Pokemon EX. Kingdra is a new EX card introduced in Fates Collide with 2 attacks, both of which I consider heinous. Big Storm does 20 damage for 1 energy, while also discarding any stadium in play. I would expect an attack like Big Storm to show some weight behind it in terms of damage output, and 2 damage counters doesn't feel like nearly enough. I'd sooner call this attack Light Rain Shower than Big Storm. Also, they couldn't come up with a better adjective than big. Anything like gargantuan, enormous, or colossal would have inspired more awe in me than simply calling the storm big. At least I can get behind its second attack. Dragon Tail is a move that does 60 damage for 4 energy, with 30 more damage for every basic lightning energy attached to Kingdra EX. Kingdra might not be able to learn Dragon Tail in the games, but the move at least What? There's an R in there? The move is called Dragon Trail? Well, that makes no sense at all. What are they trying to say here? That the mere wake a Kingdra leaves behind is enough to cause at least 40 more damage than a quote-unquote big storm would? There's really no excusing this name at all. Kingdra EX may look cool, but the Pokemon Company should have taken an extra day to perfect its attack names. There are a few do's and don'ts I left on the cutting room floor, but these at least encompass what I think the Pokemon Company did right and wrong in terms of Fates Collide. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see the series continue, be sure to let me know by liking this video. Also, if any cards from Fates Collide stick out to you but weren't mentioned in this list, be sure to tell me what they are in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun thinking about this series and editing it. This is the first installment of what I hope to be quite a few videos, as there are a lot of sets to cover and different facets within that set that I can talk about. I really want you guys to let me know down in the comments what you thought. The good and the bad. Obviously, I'm not the best video editor in the world, or scriptwriter for that matter, but I want you guys to let me know what you think of the series, and tell me what you want to see in the future if you want to see this series continue. The like button is also a great way to do that, as it helps both the video out and me know, lets me know that you guys enjoyed this series. So, as I always say, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already. Like and favorite the video and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Twitch at shinyhunterzach for more content, and until next time, I will see you guys later.